Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and thank you for joining me for our Sunday live stream. As you can see guys, we're sitting on 25,000 diamonds. Now at this point, it is really the saving aspect. Tomorrow should be the patch notes. A lot of questions on that, but tomorrow should be the patch notes for the new patch, which of course is going to include the awakened version of Shamira, which means that we have to really prep the account guys to get ready for her. Now, number one, of course, the time emblems. So I've been going through here and we've actually maxed out a couple of these King's Towers. Celestial Sanctum is completely cleared. We actually pushed all the way to 780. I've been farming up a lot. So I went through the Necropolis, we went through the Citadel. This is really the big point, guys. Not only are you farming Stargazer scrolls, but you are farming red chests and you are farming time emblems, which is exactly what we've been doing, guys. So there's out of the world tree, we got some, Brutus Citadel, we got some. And then of course, this turns into Poe coins. So 6,000 additional Poe coins just for pushing through those faction towers. That is a lot because of course, furniture is super difficult to get as we get the new heroes in here, guys. We have Withered Milk is here, Dark Blaine is here, JJP, Yo here, it's 12 p.m. here, it's already midnight over there, guys. Right now, it is 1 p.m. here. Good morning, that's right. Finally, guys, it is Shamira. We were really hoping, praying, fingers crossed, everything in the nature of it being the next awakened hero was going to be Shamira. And then, of course, we know it is going to be Shamira. Now, in addition, guys, leaderboard rewards, that is right. We pulled some more time emblems out of here. We're at 220 already. I have been stockpiling these since we built out Leica. Same with the diamonds, guys. We have been stockpiling all of our diamonds. Once Shamira was announced, we stopped at that point, guys, that we were not doing anything else. And we were literally collecting everything and stockpiling everything for that awakened version of Shamira. That will be coming in 2 days, guys. 2 days, we'll be building it out. Now, we also have a couple other things, guys. If you're in the peaks of time, make sure you're going through here. Make sure you're doing the most recent Wandering Balloon. The Gold Rush came out. I still got to do my quick guide for it. But this gives you 5,000 diamonds, guys. That is another full Stargazer pull, which of course is going to be huge because once you get Shamira to the Awakened version, you can use the Stargazer. Now, let me show that. And again, a lot of players have kind of talked about the PSA that came up over on Reddit. So when you get a hero up to Ascended, when you get an Awakened hero up to Ascended, that is right, guys. So right here we have Leica, we have a couple different heroes already up to that Ascended version. Once they are Ascended, you can put them in the Stargazer. That is right. And again, I know most of you guys do know this, but once you do get an Awakened hero Ascended, do not use any of your time emblems, guys. This is the time that you're going to switch over and do the Stargazer scrolls, or you are going to do diamonds. Just a PSA. I know a lot of players that have been burning through a ton of their time emblems out of here for the simple fact that going through the time emblem, they thought going through in the Temple of Time that they had to use these cards to add the star onto the Awakened hero. So again, guys, wanted to cover it real quick, just so you know that the PSA is out there. When you get a hero, when you get an Awakened hero up to that Ascended level, put them in the Stargazer. This is where you're going to add stars on them. I recommend doing 1 star if you're going to really compete. Go ahead and add more stars on there. But overall, this is where you want to add the stars, guys. What's going on? Marco is here. Dark Exodus is back. I'm back, dude. Can't wait for Shamira. Yes, I feel like Shamira is bringing a lot of people back. Want to say hi. Never see the live because of NFL football. Oh, very cool. Moneymaker. Yeah, it's kind of a perfect time right now. I did some shopping in the morning, got some more things to do this afternoon, but definitely wanted to hop in here, guys, running through here. Now, Dream Store, the exact same, guys. You're looking for time emblems. Guild Store, the exact same. You're getting those time emblems out of there. Even I know we're starting up pretty quick with the Temple Rift again. This season ended, but I believe the next season is going to be up very shortly. Now, of course, the Temple Rift is going to allow us to, which is right there, the next season of the Temple Rift is coming. Temple Rift is going to give us more scrolls, guys. It is going to give us more time emblems out of there. And look at that. Fernando, we have our first subscriber to the live stream. Thank you for subbing to the channel. But the Temple Rift is coming back, guys, which of course, again, Shamira comes up on this Tuesday. Saturday, the Rift starts, which means you can push through the Rift, get some more time emblems out of there. Now, in addition, going through here within the stained glass window, guys, this is yielding us another 10 out of here. Out of the warm-up debut, you can see we have 3, but this gives us 12 in its entirety. With the Voyage of Wonder, this is giving us another 10. and they are giving us 50 when she drops. You will get 50 time emblems when she drops. In addition, you also get 6 full discounted summons. But wait, there's more. That's right, perfect salesman. You are getting a free copy of Shemira to go hand in hand with the Halloween event. So when Shemira came up, or when Shemira came up on the test server, on the reset, so on the server reset that night, we got the chest, which contained a free copy, which again is roughly 50 to 70 time emblems that they're giving us to have that hero and already be building that hero out up front, which is awesome, guys. It is phenomenal that they're making it a lot easier, and they've continued to make it a lot easier to build out these awakened heroes. So if my Daemon is ascended, I have to put her in the Stargazer. Not Daemon specifically, the awakened heroes. Yori. So if you have any of these awakened heroes, so Belinda or Thane, looking in here, if you have Sophia or Brutus, any of the awakened heroes go into the Stargazer to continue building them. Do not use your time emblems to continue going through there. I'm still struggling on Belinda. Well, Primo, you're going to have a good opportunity with Belinda having the discounted summons, and with the new hero coming, you're getting about 80 time emblems out of there. And then again, a lot of other places to get them. I still have to go through in here, guys, the Misty Valley. I haven't even started this as of yet. We only have 9 days on the reset, and I want to get all the way through this. Want to go through, and I want to farm up some of those time emblems out of the where we're getting them right now, out of the towers. Again, guys, the towers are game changer. You have to farm the towers. And in my opinion, the towers are probably the #1 place to farm, period. That's it. When you look at the what you're getting out of the towers, and having, 6 towers in there, the time emblems, the Stargazer scrolls, all of the red chests in there, even the engraving mats, the Poke coins, everything that you get out of those towers is the reason why I farm them. And even on my free to play account is the reason why we have 5 awakened heroes built on a free to play account, is going through and farming out those towers. If the ABEX Premium Pass gives records and temporary feedback points, I believe they do. I believe at this point, Connor, if you buy the Premium Pass from ABEX, it will give you both. I think they're all together. Is what we're seeing right now. So 5 different factions in there. It should, when you go to purchase it, it should prompt you with the points on there, Connor, for the additional points. I have 422 time emblems. Hopefully the RNG is in my favor. Took me nearly 600. Yeah, JJP. So I was kind of on the fence with either of them. If you guys remember, Brutus took 395. So Brutus was just shy of getting him ascended with using less than 400 time emblems. But on the flip side, we also did have the awakened version of Thane. The awakened version of Thane, guys, took me 700 time emblems. That is right. Absolutely insane. He is still right there, the most expensive hero that I've ever pulled in AFK Arena. I believe it was like 705, I think, with my 10 pulls before we actually got the copies of him, which is crazy. Is Robin Hood confirmed bad, or is he being tested? Right now, Phantom, he is being tested. A lot of players are using him in a formation, and I believe Shemira is going to have a lot to do with Robin Hood being and working incredibly well. Mage's back line. So I really think we're going to see a little bit more utility out of Robin Hood. I feel like we're going to have probably another 2 or 3 weeks for him to find his place. Now, with that being said, guys, because Robin Hood is resource driven, so you can actually get him as free to play, 110%, guys, buy Robin Hood, get Robin Hood, save your resources, use your resources for Robin Hood. If you look, so he is going, and again, I believe it is the Challenger store, but you are talking 1 million Challenger tokens if he goes into that Challenger store, which even if he goes into the Labyrinth store, it is insane how expensive they are when you look at the comparison for the loot. Buy Robin Hood. And again, I always use the look back. When we got Queen was not used for anything, Phantom, in AFK Arena. Queen was a hero that was not used. About 6 months after Joker and Queen were released, Queen found a place in a formation, and then Queen found a place in a lot of formations. So a lot of players at that point didn't have the ability to pick up Queen, because we know even at that point, Queen was not available, just like we've seen with Rem and Amelia. Queen was not available for another 2+ months in the Garrison before you could actually use her. So all of the players that missed out on Queen originally didn't have the option to get her, which is the reason why, even looking at Rem and Amelia, always buy the heroes, guys. Once you have the hero, you have that hero for life. And especially because with Robin Hood, Robin Hood is pretty unique. His skills and abilities in there, and I think I needed Jerome and Fane in here, but Robin Hood's skills and abilities, they are a pretty unique mix of what we see in AFK Arena. Like I said, I feel like people are going to find exactly where he is going to fit in, but it might just take a little bit of time before we do find him. What's going on? Dark Lucifer is here and Alfredus as well. Yeah, the free awakened hero and Dark Blaine, I really hope, fingers crossed, I want them to just do this for every hero, especially for a lot of players, you know, where a lot of the awakened heroes do work and do work exceptionally well without having a big build out. So even if you gave, again, just literally one copy in AFK Arena, it would make a big difference for a lot of players, and also making progression in there. I wish they would just give us the one copy. I believe the free awakened Shemira will be usable after chapter 16.1. Is that when the time comes? Yes. Zothamus, that is when the Stargazer unlocks. That is when it unlocks, is chapter 16. So if you're before 16, I don't know if you're going to get it. So this is no ranger or support, which is pretty easy, guys. I just kind of drop everybody out of here. No ranger, no support. So there we go. And we'll drop them in. Not sure if you already said it, but when would we get the free copy? So Alfredus, I know you asked about it over on YouTube. The free copy, so if Shamira drops on Tuesday, what we've seen on the test server is the reset Tuesday night. So after the initial drop, when the server reset, we got the chest on the test server. So I'm assuming that if we don't get it when she first comes up on the server reset, so the night of release, for me, because release here or the reset here is 8 p.m. So on the night of the reset, we got the free copy of her. So it's coming. The pay to win team, yeah, pay to win is very, very prevalent. Not as much as most games, guys. And I'm actually going to be testing out quite a few additional games just to see what's out there. As much as I like AFK Arena, and I will play this game till it is completely done, want to check out a couple different titles. A lot of players recommended other titles to go on. But what is going on? Winnie joining us for the stream. Hello there, Winnie. Thank you for joining us. And IROP as well. I have just Mythic Demia. Should I go for Liberta or go all in for Demia? Pickle, I would go in for Liberta. I would go in. And the reason is, guys, is when you look at Demia is going to work incredibly well just being at Mythic, especially with that signature item. Liberta, you have to have Liberta built significantly to really have the effects in there. You do have to build out the hero, and you have to build out the hero pretty high. Again, when I'm sticking with the tier list we have, I'm sticking with the priority list that we have, and a lot of them really do go into the build of getting one copy of Demio, which I did on my wishlist account, if you guys remember, and then I'm all in for Liberta. The one copy of Demia works incredibly well, but if you have Demia already at Mythic, absolutely going to 100% be there. I would go over for Liberta, guys. Liberta is an honest game changer when it comes to AFK Arena and when it comes to the build. It is kind of crazy. We do a Nightmare Corridor or just use last week's. There's a new one, Marco. I can do a new one for a little bit later tonight. I don't know exactly when the reset is. I didn't look at it. But yeah, I can definitely do one. There's a new one. And the Nightmare Corridor and the Cursed Realm Guide comes from the Chinese servers. So they actually have access to data a little bit before we do. It seems like Cursed Friends, I don't think they're going to be doing any more guides over there, Marco. So as much as we loved and appreciated the guides that Cursed Friends were doing, I do not believe they are going to be doing any more. And I believe this one was Nara and it was Frampton in here to build those out. Yeah, so the guides, I know it's a little bit more consolidated with the information. Now they also talked about, if you guys checked out last night's videos with the notes, with the dev notes, They are also going to be changing up some of the formations in here to try to make them a little easier, make them a little clean. And again, I really feel like during the formation, when you can mirror formations or copy formations, they need to give you the ability to exclude heroes, where again, I think of, you know, having a hero where I only have one single copy of. I wish I could exclude that hero in their entirety, because again, I only have one single copy of that hero. So it doesn't work very well for me because I need more copies essentially of some of the other heroes in there. Free copy for every Awaken would be, yeah, exactly. I really feel like Darkblade, they could do that and it would be pretty easy to just pop in a free copy. What is going on, Noah? Recently started barely a few Awaken heroes. What is the focus? Chapter 39. Honestly, the Awakened version of Athalia is really a good, solid focus. Leica does well, Sophia does well, Belinda does incredibly well, and we'll see exactly, what Shemira brings. Shamira, a lot of players are saying, and a lot of players that I trust on for reliable source information have said that Shamira is pretty strong. I mean, on the test server, having a incredibly strong showing so far on the test server. We're just going to have to see exactly where she falls in and see. Save your emblems right now, and I recommend before you build one out, probably save around 400 time emblems, and then focus on one hero. I've said this from the beginning, and honestly, it has to be a really, really strong focus, guys. When it comes to the four primary heroes, you should have one focus. Celestials and Hypogeans, you should have one focus in there. Awakened heroes, you should have one and only one hero focus on at a time. You have to focus build these heroes in here, or you're going to have a bunch of heroes that are just kind of half built. That's the big thing. Peter, is the Awakened Shamira broken? It seems like it so far. So of course, when you look at Shamira, when you think of the energy disintegration, we need Audrey and Morale in here. When you look at the energy disintegration, when you look at the tanking ability, guys, with the power creep that we're starting to see, it's kind of incredible to see the survivability and making Shamira a tank that transfers everything into magic damage and then giving her the ability to mitigate magic damage. It is kind of broken. And again, when you start putting support heroes behind her, when you start putting, you know, a bunch of different heroes behind the Awakened version of Shamira, it just takes broken to another level, because now you have a very strong tank that can add in some damage mitigation, that can add in some buffing, the damage in there, which that was Wilders. I don't think I added my last Wilder. But that is the reason why, Peter, a lot of people are saying they're surprised they haven't nerfed her as of yet, which is kind of crazy. Robin Hood seems decent. Like I said, with Robin Hood, absolutely, I would build Robin Hood, get Robin Hood, guys. Make sure and win without a warrior or tank, so we can just go our rangers in here. Make sure you get Robin Hood. I cannot stress it enough, guys. When it comes to the ability to use resources to get heroes, get the heroes. Always get the heroes. It could be, you know, a week, a month. It could be 6 months, like I said, with Queen, before we see the utility really come out of the hero, or even with newer or more frequent released heroes, they might have viability with the hero that we had before, such as Robin Hood. I think he's going to be used, and it seems like he is falling into a couple different formations already, is what we're kind of seeing. So I think he's going to continue that exact trend, and we're going to see Robin Hood used in a couple different places, especially with Shamira. It seems like that might be a really good synergy together with those two, is because of the energy disintegration factor that Robin Hood brings, as well as the Greyborn heroes. Might make a little bit of a difference on there. I skipped over so many Awakened heroes. I hope Shamira will be the one that I build. Yeah, you have to, Winnie. Honestly, if you're not putting money into AFK Arena, there's you're gonna have to pick and choose exactly who you're gonna build. Now, who do I put in here? I'm 50% paying attention to AFK Arena. But yeah, you have to pick and choose who you got to build because they're so expensive, guys. And again, farm the tower. Winnie, farm the tower. Farm every single faction tower that you have the opportunity to. Definitely. what is the best time to start stargazing and what is the best strategy? So Aziz, Aziz, the best way to start stargazing, the best time to start stargazing is when you're getting stargazer scrolls out of the towers. So I'll hop over and I'll show you real quick. So when you get to the point of the King's Tower, which is floor 125, when you start getting stargazer scrolls out of here, that is the time right here that you want to start stargazing. It requires usually about 3 awakened heroes of each faction is the point you want to switch over to the Stargazer, because at that point you're going to be far enough in the towers that you can farm your Stargazer scrolls, which is what you want, guys, 100%. If you start stargazing too early, short of probably being a whale, but if you start stargazing too early, you're going to actually cut out your ability to earn Stargazer scrolls naturally as AFK Arena planned, because you're not going to have the ability. And look at that, Kooky. Thank you for putting out amazing content. Thank you for the super chat. That is awesome to see, guys. We're going to continue in here, guys. We're getting ready for Shamira. This in here with the Misty Valley, going through, there are so many places in here that you can farm. It's kind of crazy even getting Stargazer scrolls out of the Abyssal Expedition, getting a lot of the resources out of the Abyssal Expedition makes a big difference. And again, I'm not paying a ton of attention. Light Bears, then we have Original Solus and Namisu. So let's drop in our Light Bears here, and then we'll do Solus, and then we'll do a Misu. I finally got Liberta maxed out 309.60. Yes, Peter, Liberta is huge, guys. They are huge. People on the test server are saying a weird American Shemira is broken. That's what I'm seeing, Brian. So we know I have an account, Fox and Hound, over on the test server that we play with. Yes, Awakened Shemira, guys, is super, super strong. I have Twins Mythic in 1 copy. Should I still push to Awaken or switch to Berta? Mythic Twins are good. Universe, I would leave the Twins at Mythic. I wouldn't go above and beyond. The big thing is naturally you'll get them higher because they are a priority out of different ways, and you can get the Twins for free. There's actually a couple different places that you can get the Twins for free, and as you continue, you'll build them up a little bit higher. Mythic is really all you need. I would definitely switch to Liberta Universe at that point if you're already there. Now this, again, I think it was the Original Solus and Namisu. So where is Solus? And where is Namisu? Still no love in there. And there we go, Kooky. I was hoping it would show up. It took a little bit. But again, thank you very much for the super chat. That is amazing to see. Live the original. Shemira, I started AFK when it was the... Yeah, exactly, JJP. So if you guys are old school AFK Arena players, Shemira was the GOAT. It was literally the Chad. Shemira was the best hero that we ever had. It was the players essentially that owned Shemira and the players that didn't own Shemira. If you didn't own Shemira, you were kind of SOL because everyone that had Shemira just crushed you in every aspect. And of course, Shemira was the carry for everybody. And then Damon came out. When Damon came out, Damon, the son of the carry, that's right, Shemira is the mother, Damon is the son of the carry came out, and then Damon absolutely stole all of the thunder, took her place. And then, of course, when we started seeing Scarlet replaced Shemira in all the formations that we didn't see her being used. Saurus came out. Saurus was the new boss killer, and it just kind of went from there, guys. At this point, it's kind of crazy. I already bought Joan from the Labyrinth shop. Any recommendations for heroes that I buy except Joan in the Labyrinth shop? So right now, Noir, honestly, I would build out Joan from the shop. When you look at Arthur, when you look at Wukong, when you look at Baba Yaga, I probably wouldn't buy any of those. If that's the only one you have, I would worry about building other heroes, red chests, buying engraving mats, buying out your poke coins in there, just for the fact that you could get Baba Yaga and you could get Arthur. I doubt you're going to use them. I think you're going to be stuck kind of Noir with having a bunch of heroes you have to build and then sitting on some of the dimensionals that you're not using is where, again, a lot of players are kind of getting stuck because of the resources. Now, with that being said, what you can do is once you do have Joan, so you have Joan out of the Labyrinth shop done, is buy these space emblems. The emblems of space, absolutely, because you're going to have so many other awakened hero, or excuse me, the dimensional heroes that you're going to have to build. So prioritize once you have Joan is getting those emblems of space because you're going to have them. The front line is tank, which is easy. So we will drop this out. There we go. Front line is tank. Now I have 80k diamonds, 160 Stargazer cards. I need 2 more copies of Awaken Belinda to ascend her. Should I wait to ascend Belinda and then summon more 3 copies or give her a star? I would save it. Mateo, I would absolutely save it. Once you get Belinda up to ascended, so you need 2 more copies, which will come on Tuesday. Very easy because you got discounted. You get all those cards. So Awaken Belinda will be done. Take her to 1 star, then go all in for Liberta at that point. Because again, Belinda's a hero, guys, that you have to have her built. Similar to a lot of the Awakened heroes, I would build out Belinda first because you are absolutely so close to her. And again, Tuesday, Mateo, you're going to be able to build her and you're going to be able to essentially be done with her at that point. So even having the hero, that is the point where you're going to be done with Belinda. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Plus you can engrave her. Getting that star, not only taking her to 1 star, but adding the engraving on there is going to build out and have everything else built, which would be an absolute priority. Is it true that Awakened Shamira is not letting Awakened Baden respawn? Not that I have seen, Jonathan. If that's the case, it might be a bug that they're fixing, or a bug that might be adjusted. If they have a hero, guys, and it doesn't work as intended, they will always change it. They will always fix it. And I think there was one more, 5 different factions. So let's clear everyone out. We'll just literally go down the factions. And the last one, do you have every Awakened built? I do not, Jovan. So I do not have the Awakened version of Aziz. If you guys have been following the account for a while, I do not have the Awakened version of Aziz, which is funny because I do have the avatar, and I'll show you guys in a minute. So that should be in its entirety, collecting all loot. And again, thinking of Shamira, guys, here is the Poe coins that we are going to feed into Awakened Shamira. This is going to be the furniture builds that we're looking for. You're looking at thousands of Poe coins, and it's so cool when it does that little spiral. Now, in addition, boom, we have Jerome in here. I have Bates in here. So a lot of these, I don't need the red chest. I am sitting right now on about 500 red chests. So I'm going to continue getting the Bates to build out the rest of our beasts with the rest of these, but we also do have the ability, we need these engraving mats, again, to build out Shamira. Stargazer scrolls, absolutely building out Shamira. And Jerome, I need to put a star on to actually get the plus 30 engraving. So there is the additional loot, guys. Misty Valley, massive, massive ability to get loot out of here. Make sure you're done with 41, guys. You have to make sure that you're getting all of your loot out of this game mode, which is just phenomenal to see. We are getting so many resources out of here, and we're almost to level 800. Even here, guys, we're going engraving mats because they are rare. In here, we're going amplifying emblems, again, because they're the ones that we're mostly looking for. We're getting some free diamonds out of the small chest. There's another 200. We also do have quite a bit here. I have some Mithril, 2,500 Mithril right there, which I'm saving for cards. I put some money on a card. Most of you know that I budget for AFK Arena and I budget through gift cards. So my Google card has a little over $100 for when she comes because this is the pay to win account, guys. When we get super chats like what Kookie did, the membership, we put a lot of money back into AFK Arena that comes from YouTube, which is very, very cool because that kind of feeds my addiction over here. I have a question about buffing Awakened Shamira. Her attack skills are based on the max health. Does buffing attack rating buff her skills? So useless player, it is the health. So that is kind of the requirement for the build. The only other hero that we have seen is where the skills are based on health was the original version of Taylene, guys. Now her skills were based on health right here, equal to the max health. So a lot of players built out the original version of Taylene incorrectly because everything is not based on the attack rating with this hero. It is based on health. And it appears just like what Useless Player said. It is the same with the Awakened version of Shamira. A lot of the skills are based on health, and she is tank, which means the build out for her is going to be a little bit different. Also, when you start building her higher, there is a really big amplification factor that she carries. when you're building her higher because of the stats, and just how high you can build her when it does come to the stats is incredible. So they mathematically broke down and mapped out the Awakened version of Shemira over on Reddit. We seen the breakdown of it, and it was kind of incredibly insightful, I guess you would say, on how the hero is built and how much it scales with the stats that are coming from the engraving, which is the reason why even taking her like to an 80 engraving might be an absolute game changer for the hero, simply because of the stats that you're adding in those different aspects. Yeah, is there any hero that buffs max health? There are. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any that buff the max health. I think there is a few actually. With Awakened Shemira, I can finally, yeah, that's it. You will crush the Greyborn Tower, I promise. Just finished Awakened Sophia. I have the other Awakened heroes, but Awakened Leica. I would wait, William. Wait right now. Do a quick pause on building the Awakened hero. Wait for Shemira. I'm hoping Shemira won't turn out like Aziz. No, Shemira will not be like the Awakened version of Aziz, guys. And of course, Aziz is the only one that I do not have built at all. Aziz is still kind of sitting here. Now, again, the funny thing with the Awakened version of Aziz, as many of you do know, is I do have his animated avatar frame. So I built the Awakened version of Aziz. Where is his avatar frame? And I still have his avatar frame, even though I don't have the hero. So right there is the Awakened Aziz avatar frame, but I don't have the Awakened hero. I built him. We ended up swapping the Awakened version of Aziz for the Awakened version of Baden. So that was the original swap that I did to build Baden. Absolutely 150% never regret that one, because building out Baden was absolutely huge. Is Shemira going to be like Baden? No. Or excuse me, like Aziz? No, not at all. We are seeing her again on the test server. She is pretty broken. She is absolutely pretty broken. As my first Awakened hero is Shemira, stronger than Athalia and Belinda. I think she's going to be right on the same, if not a little bit stronger, again, depending on the formation. So one of the big problems is when you look at the heroes, guys, is when you look at AFK Arena and when you think of AFK Arena kind of big picture, you need 5+ teams for pretty much anything that you do as of right now. Even looking at places like the Treasure Scramble, ranked 95 right now. Treasure Scramble, I don't think we can change our formation. But looking in here, guys, you're talking 7 teams. So when it comes to the Awakened heroes, are there going to be a place, where an Awakened hero is not going to be used? Honestly, no. There's going to be, and there is so many teams that are in AFK Arena, so many requirements. You're talking 5 teams, 6 teams, 7 teams. You have to have the heroes built, and it's going to be a continuous process. I mean, short of being a whale and just buying and building out every single hero you have in AFK Arena, it's going to be a never-ending process of building out all of your heroes, building out the Elder Tree, building out. There's not going to be a point where you're capped with everything. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of time. That's why I said my first Awakened hero, wait to see where Shemira comes in, guys. Athalia, very solid choice. Belinda, very solid choice. But definitely going to be a big requirement. I feel like Shemira is going to be a game changer, and they're really hyping her up, putting her into all of the Halloween events. So I think we're going to have a lot that is going on there. Any hero you'd prioritize versus focusing on 60, the next meta? Yeah, Craze. So when it comes to building heroes above the 60, so he's talking about taking them from a 60 E60 to a 67. I go through, now remember guys, different game modes, you're going to need your damage dealers. Making your damage dealers are going to be the priority. So looking at Baden right there, looking at the Awakened version of Belinda. And the reason is, Craze, is you can go from an E60 to an E67, building out very specific nodes within there to amplify the damage these heroes are doing. Even here, Sophia's almost 10 billion damage. Even here, Peanuts in here, which is kind of crazy to see. But there we got Matria. And then the final one, of course, looking here at Liberta. But like I said, with these game modes specifically, you want to build out the damage dealers first. The reason being, if you're not building out the heroes that are doing the most damage, they're not going to be doing the damage they need to. Like I said, with Belinda, we built her out to an 80. The reason for building her to an 80, and she is literally the only 80 that I have, is being competitive within the Treasure Scramble, the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, the Temporal Rift, even going into the campaign formations. I built her out to get this PvP piece right here, as well as adding stats to her, is the reason why I built her out to the 80. And again, most players are not going to take her to the point of being very competitive like I am here, but I do it that way I can rank. And because I built out a couple of heroes, I'm staying under the 100 rank right here in the Treasure Scramble. And I have, for I believe the 3rd iteration of it, that I'm literally going back and doing a lot better in there. Curious about Aziz. Was he bad from the start? Yes. So Aziz he was okay when he started. Rage, he was okay when he started. Then all of a sudden we are having issues with him because if you build him out, he doesn't work with Lucy. So back when he was released, which I believe he was the 2nd awakened hero we had ever seen, you couldn't get Aziz to die to buff up Lucretia. So that was a huge, huge miss, especially when it came to the tower down here. Is the awakened version of Aziz, you couldn't get him to die, so Lucy wasn't buffed. So right there, dropped him out of a lot of places, guys, which is kind of crazy. But that was one of the reasons why up front, Aziz wasn't very effective. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like he wasn't fitting in anywhere. We seen him kind of as an offshoot in a bunch of different places, but he was super, super short-lived. And I'm talking a week or two. And then a lot of players really didn't use him many other places, realized that he didn't have a lot of utility in different places. And he was quickly replaced by anybody else that followed Aziz. Very, very just quickly released. Now in here, guys, we have 50, which again, this is just all recycle fodder. I'm going to save this because possibly this could be Awakened Shemira. I'm going to go ahead and use my Elite Stones. We have 10 in here, guys, which gives us, there's a copy of Khazard. So, okay, we got 1 out of there, which I'm okay with. I definitely want to get this. And that might even add another star to Khazard. That puts him at 2 stars. Jerome, again, we want to build out, which we can right here. It looks like we can add a star on Jerome. Now, Jerome, you want to take to an E30. You want to build him out. You want to do the engraving because this is going to allow us to instantly improve the level of a hero. And I'll show you what I mean, guys. So in his plus 30, this ability right here, when a targeted followed by the Ape Admiral is defeated, no, I was thinking maybe it's the 60. Or no, maybe it's the in right there. That's what we need, 9 of 9 furniture. The instant upgrade, but still, this is, I believe this is important. I believe the 30 is what we want to. Dealt the most damage to the following target during the previous 3 seconds. Yeah, we'll receive an instant upgrade. I didn't finish reading it, guys, but that's the reason why we want to put the 30 on him, which we're going to do right there. That is the reason we get an instant upgrade when you take out a target, which is what we want. Makes a big difference in a lot of different game modes, including running in formations. We just got to finish out his furniture, which again, we are waiting for Shamira, guys. We have 81,000 Poke Coins in here. Again, I'm going to wait to build him out with Shamira. We've been building out a lot of the furniture on these heroes. Going to wait. We have 1 card on the table till we get Shamira out of there. Aziz was bad from the start. Yeah, Dark Lucifer, absolutely. How many days did I log on this account? This account specifically, I'm not sure where it keeps the, I think it stops at the 180. I think it does stop in the 180. Where, not sure. I thought it said right in here how many days, but I don't think, yeah, it stops at the 180. But 180 was on 5/1/23. I mean, that's what, 3 years? I think what, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that's 3 years. So right there, guys, 5/1 was 3 years. Now, most of you know this isn't my oldest account, guys. The FHG is actually far older than this account ever was, but we started this account about 1.5 years. I think about 1.5 years after that FHG account. With the FHG account is actually on, I believe, 81. I think it was server 81 when we built it. But Jerome, another 6,000 Poke Coins out of there. Then, of course, we get the engraving. I will absolutely take some extra engraving mats, which is awesome, guys. Very, very cool to see. Do you think there's going to be another swap? I'm hoping yes, William. Absolutely. I would love to see another swap in there for sure. I would definitely. What's going on, Joffrey? Thank you for joining us. And Trisha is here as well. Yes, Cirrus buffs max out. Wouldn't that be funny, Trisha, if we seen Cirrus comes back with the buffing of the max health, which would be kind of crazy to see him with the awakened version of Shemira. That would be absolutely hilarious to see. Do I know what teams that awaken Shemira will be good? Me, I give it a day or two. Once she's released, we'll go through a couple teams. And we'll go through a couple teams that we're seeing over on the test server is really one of the big things. Is it better to build Athalia or Shemira? I would wait. I would wait, Noir, and see exactly where Shemira does come in. And again, I feel like she is going to be a monster, guys. 229 cards right there. Definitely saving the rest of those stones. Again, we're probably going to end up buying some cards out of here to actually build her up, which would be well worth it. Now, Vault of Time, we've already killed the boss, I believe, 2 times, maybe 3 times. I stopped at my 10,000 essence up here, but I think we're pretty well done at this point. And at this point, we're just waiting 5 mythic blessed relics. At this point, the beta version's pretty done, and they need to change a lot, guys. There are a lot of things with this floating isle that we really do need to adjust and change. And I'm hoping they do quite a bit of updates and changes in there. 9 is the max furniture for free to play. Some people want to be competitive. Yes, that's one of the big things. Can you summon for pets? Yeah, I can summon for pets. I didn't even think about the Pokecoins, guys. We're at 1,200. As we know, guys, I'm literally going down Zero's tier list to go in there and build these out. So we have both of these already kind of set at 18. 18 is where I'm taking them. Even looking at the resonance and looking at our lure, these are the 3 that we're building. And again, we're taking them to 18. And then 18, again, we're going to go through until we get them all to 18. Then I'm just going to prioritize building out heroes. There's Talisman. Talisman at 18 makes a big difference, guys. And a lot of players have kind of talked about the ability of Talisman being at 18 and the damage that Talisman is putting out. So we have 2 right there. I'm not sure how close we are here. We have 1. Only have 1 right there, Talisman. We have 3, so we could build out another one there. And the last one we were building out was the spider. The spider's actually down here. Again, we only have 1 right there. It's going to take a little bit more time, guys, but I feel like we can put 2 more on here, take the wing lion up to 18, and then the wing lion will be done. And then, like I said, we're just literally going down the line till we get them all to 18 is the build that we're looking for in here. And this just takes time. Just like building out all of your heroes, guys, this takes time, and this takes a lot of time to build them out. My hope is that Awakened Shemira uses then other heroes. I don't know. I feel like JJP, it is going to be a meta. There is going to be a meta built around Shemira, guys. The way that the hero is, absolutely, there is going to be OP Shemira, like what Peter said. Yes, I think it absolutely is going to be. Normal Shemira is still worth keeping. No, I wouldn't, Cute Bear. I would not keep or have the original version of Shemira. I didn't even build her on this account because at that point Damon was out. I would swap her for Ivan. Yes, that is a huge build. Furniture-wise, yeah, the max furniture, guys, is 36 of 36. So you notice right now I have 9, I have 13, 13, and 13. Furniture can actually be strengthened. That's this little upgrade piece. Furniture can be strengthened up to a 36 of 36 is the max that furniture can go to. So yes, it can go well above the 9 of 9 furniture, and it goes and strengthens. I want to see where Liberta is in here. You can actually modify or strengthen all of the furniture much higher than you have on the 9 of 9. The only thing you're doing if you're going above that 9 of 9 furniture is stats. So you are just stacking more stats onto your furniture. Now we got to hit what? 80, there's 40, there's 60, there's 48. So I'm going to go Tower of Light. And again, this is how I've been farming towers. So I go, this Andy paper right here is much higher of a level. So Lucky Soldier is I'm about 20 levels over, no problem. And I run this till it completes, let it run maybe a little bit longer. And then I switch back and forth, guys. And I farm these towers religiously, all the time. What time will it awaken Shemira? The patch is usually up 5 a.m. Freak up nuts, donuts. The patch is usually up 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time that is where you're at, but it will be Tuesday morning. Usually 3 to 5 is the patch time that I see here, which is awesome. Got Kanisa and Rook 1 star today. Very nice, Joffrey. That is awesome to see. What do I think about the new Soul Stones? So, Primo, the new Soul Stones, I feel like are an incredible waste. So the big reason why, if you fundamentally look at the Soul Stones, they have a 4% chance, that is right, 4% chance to pull a Awakened Hero. However, during the course of a month, you will only get one of these stones, Primo. So one stone, 4% chance. Or you could use the current version that we have of our stones, which I'll show you guys because I got a lot of questions about this. When you look at the current version of our stones right here, you have a 2% chance for an Awakened Hero. So 2% chance for your Awakened Hero. Now, in the course of a month, through the Noble Society, so up here, through the entire course of the month, you do pull 3 of your Superb Elite Stones. So during the month, you will pull 3 Superb Elite Hero Stones in their entirety. So you get 120 of these stones per month in the Noble Society. They give you a 2% chance to pull a hero. With the new ones, the new max stones, you only get 1 per month instead of 3, but your probability goes to 4%. Now, with that being said, I would rather have a chance with 3 stones to get my 2% or 2%, 2%, 2%. So if you're getting 3 stones, not only are you getting a 6% chance because you do get 3 stones versus 1 stone, and I know mathematically it's just kind of rounding, but versus getting 1 stone at that 4% per month. Now, in addition, guys, is if I do not get the Awakened Hero, I have a higher probability of Celestials and Hypogens, or I have another probability to get additional elite heroes that I want out of these stones, which again, I'm going to be getting 3, probability-wise, you're going to be getting 3 other elite heroes out of here with that 94% chance, but you're getting 3 of them. If you have the probability of the new stones, you're probably only going to get 1 elite hero, and the chances of it being an Awakened, Celestial, and Hypogen, a little bit lower, but I will always take the 3 heroes to 1, even because if I'm getting other heroes, I can take them in here and I can recycle them, giving me the ability to buy more stones out of the store. So you can literally rinse and repeat, or you can even go into the barracks and you can buy out all of these Twisted Essence, which again is going to help you a ton with progression. The new stones, not really good. Show me your Celestial Tower. Sure, Celestial Tower is maxed out, guys. 780 is the cap right now. We're maxed out at 780. So we can't. Yeah, and that's the problem. Why we're seeing it, Marco, it is the new Soul Stones. If you go in there and you pull a hero and it is a Verk for what Rage said, that's it. You're done for the month. You have 1 copy of Verk that you can recycle. I would rather have the probability to get 3 copies of Verk that I can go ahead and recycle in everything else. And again, it's the new stones are nice. The probabilities are off, especially because you can only get 1. Now, for a lot of heroes that are going to be buying a lot of the stones, sure, could be beneficial if you're purchasing all of the packs just because of the sheer number of stones that you're getting. But again, overall, I wouldn't recommend buying them. I'm not a huge fan of the new stones at all. I really feel like the probabilities needed to be a little higher to kind of incentivize the heroes that are in there. Now, in addition, a lot of players have also talked a little bit about possibly making it, and I would love if Lilith did this, is possibly making the older Awakened heroes a little bit easier to get, which again, I would absolutely love to see. Making their probability or even putting their probability a little bit different, just to be able to get a little bit more of those. How many teams? It's at, I think 2. I think it's at 2. I think it only stays at 2. Where are we at? No replays, FHE. It's only 2 teams. This tower doesn't go to 3. The rest of the towers do go to 3 teams, as you can see right here. Celestial and Hypodin towers only go to 2. Do I have room on my friends list? Let's see if anyone has been AFK, guys. They are 18 hours. No, I do not. We are 40 of 40 full right now. We're going to have to wait. I do the 2 days. After 2 days, I remove anyone that is not active in there. Now, also remember, guys, Tuesday, the Garrison. That's right. The question that I got probably more than anything ever is Rem and Amelia will be in the Garrison on Tuesday, guys. When the patch note goes up, that's right. It will go in here and it will be Rem and Amelia will be in here, giving you access to 2 more dimensional heroes. And we're just continuing building them out, guys. As you can see, we are almost to 20 dimensional heroes. That is right. It is well overdue. We need a tower, and we've needed a tower for a long time going through here. We definitely sorely need a dimensional tower. Now in here, I'm hoping, again, let me see if I can recycle. I haven't actually recycled for a couple days. So I keep 2 copies, which right there is 2 copies. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 in here. 1, 2, 3. And here we have 1, 2, 3. There we go. Nothing else to recycle. So I'm going to recycle these guys. That gives me 69K of hero coins. And of course, going in here, guys, picking up all of these. Most of the time I would pick the stones up first. But the stones we're going to have an ability to get. I max that thing out every single time we do it, which is kind of crazy. But here we go. We got a copy of Lucius. So he goes again right back into an Ascended and right back to the meat grinder with the recycle. And look at that, guys. Carlos, subscriber number 2, guys. Thank you for subbing to the channel. That is 2 subscribers. We are well over our 35,000 subscribers, guys. And if you checked out the finance channel, we are over 3,000 subscribers on the finance channel, which is absolutely crazy. But the channel is growing like crazy. Financial literacy, financial education, absolutely check it out. Is Awakened Shamira a priority right now? We're going to have to wait and see. I want to see when she's up on global. Now, guys, as much as we go through and we test out different heroes, as much as we go through on the test server, you really get a taste for where the hero falls in is when she comes up on global. This is because she is released. And of course, with the hero coming up on the global side, it also comes up with the trial version. Now, most everybody, the second the trial version comes up, they pick up the trial version, they use it in all different game modes. That is where we really see the tried and true. Where is the awakened version of Shamira going to fall into? It is because we have, I mean, literally hundreds of thousands of players that are going to have the ability to go in here, test out that awakened version of Shamira, see exactly where she fits in and go from there. And look at that. Big shout out to Brian for gifting our memberships. 5 gifting memberships to you guys. Congratulations. I love seeing the little hippos behind and next to everybody's name, especially in the YouTube comments and in the live chats. That is awesome. Big shout out to Brian. And you know what? Let me do the membership giveaway that I do every single stream. Most of you know, if you've been streaming or caught my streams for a little bit, we do 1 membership giveaway every single time that we do our stream. So we do 4 a month. Want to make sure that we hop in here. Again, I love doing the give back. I love seeing the little hippos in there. So that will pop up in just a minute as well. Yeah, Shamira will be the priority. That's my thought. Zolthamus is we're going to see Shamira, and we're going to see Shamira come back. And I feel like with a vengeance. I feel like there's a point where all of the pent-up desire and all the pent-up demand and all the players that have been carrying and playing AFK Arena for years is at the point where we wanted Shamira on the first iteration. We didn't get Shamira. We got Baden. That was the one they went to. And they knew the amount of negative feedback that they really got in regards to the awakened version of Shamira and doing Baden instead of Shamira. I think that was the point where they were like, you know what? Oh crap, we have to do this awakened version of Shamira because this is what players want to see. Now, most of you know, again, if you've been watching my content, if you've been watching Vulcan, if you've been watching Zero, a lot of other content creators, guys, AFK Arena and Lilith takes a lot of feedback that we offer them, guys. Giving them feedback on different heroes. Even most of you were reporting that we had issues with the Abyssal Expedition. I sent that raid over to Lilith. I sent that raid over to the dev team. It got forwarded right on to, hey, they need to fix this. What is it going to look like? What is it going to look like for future iterations of the Vault of Time? Especially if this was the Vault of Time that was actually leaderboard that was scored, it would have been devastating. It would have been absolutely devastating to teams if they didn't have the ability to go in here and actually adjust the Abyssal Expedition to fix what was broken. And they've always said this, guys, is that if things are broken in AFK Arena, if it's not fundamentally working as they expected, it will be adjusted. It will be hot fixed. They've already done, I believe, close to a half dozen hot fixes over on the test server. We are continued to see it. And again, they want the game to work and they want it to work flawlessly. And the players help that happen. Putting the information over on Discord, putting it over on Reddit, letting me know, letting Vulcan know, letting a lot of the content creators know that we can drop, chats in Discord to AFK Arena and say, hey, this isn't working and this is why. They can investigate it. They can do a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. And again, just to look back at the AE, a lot of players were having issues with placing stones. So I think in the next iteration, Darkblade, the stones, when you earn the stones, they said that the people who are running the AE will be able to place them. They're looking at possibly you can remove them or just auto mapping them, meaning that you take a structure that offers the stone. When you do the stone or when you get the stone, it just starts building the bridge instead of it going into your backpack, which again is pretty cool. Congratulations to all the new members of the channel. Is killing the beacons worth it? Yes. If you want to really nullify a lot of the boss, you have to get the beacons. Now there's I believe four beacons, and each beacon works on one life and one life alone. So once you do use the beacon for one life, it is not going to work for the next ones. And then I believe they said on life 5 and 6, I believe it was in life 5 and 6, and I have to come in here and farm up the rest of these rewards. But in life 5 and 6, you cannot use the beacons at all. So once you use the beacons again, 1 through 4, with the weakening settings, you cannot use them again. So again, that's going to be kind of interesting to see. I don't even know if we use them, which this is the third, I think the third iteration that we had in here. But once a beacon is used one time, you're not going to be able to use it again. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Someone please help me. I'm hard stuck in chapter 11. Honestly, chapter 11, carry Damon. You're going to have to build up the heroes that you have, but going through there, Damon-Ivan combination is super huge. Even having Damon early game will work incredibly well. Hit me up, Adrian, over on Discord. That's the easiest place I can look at formations. We can absolutely get you there. Hope we get a next dimension. Yeah, dimensional collaboration would be awesome to see, guys. Absolutely. I would love to see some more of the crossover events, some of the collaborations. It brings a lot of new players to AFK Arena, which I love. But definitely want to see what's coming through here. I'm going to continue farming these towers, and I have for a lot. Now, again, guys, Stargazer scrolls, 110%. You have to follow and you have to farm these. It is a non-negotiable in every single aspect of AFK Arena. You have to farm up the towers, the scrolls. I mean, literally the Stargazer scrolls, the time emblems. You get red chests out of here, which is awesome. You get the engraving mats. You get your Poe coins as you continue progression through these towers, guys. Everything comes through there. I have Damon, Legendary, Lucky. That's it. Push Damon and Damon will carry. You might have to change up a couple different formations. Even some of the earlier heroes, Adrian, when you look at Nara, when you look at Lyca, when you look at Thorin, there's a lot of different heroes that work incredibly well early game. That work especially very, very easy. You reckon it would be better to make Ascended Mulan or Albedo? Honestly, Mulan. Ascended Mulan. Yeah, I would do Mulan. The thing is, Albedo buffs, and Albedo has to have a +30 signature item. Duke, Albedo has to have a 3 of 9 furniture. That is the key to unlocking Albedo. If you do not have Albedo at that point, there's very minimal use case for Albedo. until you have her built. Now, in addition to that, Duke, Albedo only works for other dimensional heroes. So if you're building Albedo first, you're not going to have anyone to use in that formation. Yes, I would definitely build out Mulan first, because again, Albedo is a support hero. Even though she's a tank, Albedo is technically a support hero for other dimensional heroes, which works pretty well. And again, this level, this game mode, it might take a long time to get these to work. Most of these are not instant. Most of these do take a considerable amount of time of farming these different builds to get this to work. So I will turn this on. I still got to do some more shopping this afternoon, have a couple other things. When will she be viable? So who are you talking about, Dorp? Are you talking about Albedo or are you talking about Mulan? Let me know. And there we go, guys. Liberta gets it done, again, based on my level, pretty high. Can I explain how the Garrison works? So the Garrison is, Polly, you pay for a hero, so you use your resources to get a hero. Once you have that hero, you can use the hero for 30 days. Now, once the hero expires, and there we go, we got Stargazer scrolls right there and 4,000 hero essence. And we'll hop over, I'll check out the Garrison because I know a lot of new players have this question as well. So when you go to the Garrison, you spend a certain amount of resources to get these stones, dimensional stones. Once you do the exchange for a hero, you get to use the hero for 30 days. Regardless of where you build the hero, after 30 days, you either have to spend more resources, but you will not use where you built the hero. That is something very important to remember. You do not lose the build. So if I, let's say, for instance, right here, I get Yennefer. I build Yennefer out to a +20 signature item. If Yennefer goes back in here, you do not lose anything that you built on Yennefer. When you reborrow her, you will have her built as she was before. Now, with that being said, once you build a hero, once you borrow a hero 6 times, Polly, once you borrow one 6 times, you will have the hero going forward. You do have to borrow them again, but you will possess the hero going forward, which is what you want. So you don't have to pay for them anymore. After you build them 6 times, you don't have to pay for them anymore, which is huge. Which is the best option of the 3 to Stargaze for? Zap, Audrey, or Zekus? All others are built. Honestly, out of those 3, I would probably save for the next hero, or you could go Zap. Zekus, I never built. I built him on other accounts. Zekus was never worth anything to build. I never built Zekus. Audrey was very, very short-lived. PvP-wise, Zap is still occasionally used some places, but now I feel like you're going to be building a hero essentially that you'll probably have little to no use for. So I wouldn't even invest in them at this time just because of the build. I'm at 3220. I have Ainz built, half built. Should I keep working? He does fall off. Yes, absolutely, Pickle. So Ainz, unfortunately, is not used anymore. But again, if you still do have him, he still fundamentally does work. Going through the campaign, he will go through the work pretty well. It's just, I wouldn't invest in him in a lot. It's not worth it. You're not going to see the return out of him. How does a free-to-play player get Awakened Heroes? You just have to wait. The Welsh Gamer, it will be out of summons, but the easiest way is getting cards out of the tower. You're a little bit too early to get the Awakened Heroes, even at my level, guys. If you guys remember my other account, which I can swap over really quick. My other account that is linked to my Facebook profile. So let's switch accounts, play another account, continue with Facebook. This account does not have any Awakened Heroes. Guys, we are 0 for forever with the Awakened Heroes. But yeah, Ainz had an amazing run. Ainz not really a big use anymore. Who do I recommend from the Challenger Store? Mortis, Aziz, Zolrath, or Athalia. I would at least get Mortis built out a little bit. Now here, guys, this is the wishlist account. We are on, I don't even remember how many days anymore with this one. Adventure, we are on 28 days. So in 28 days, guys, I have, as you can see right here, we built these out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 Ascended Heroes on here in 28 days. I have 0 Awakened Heroes. We have none at this point, guys. It was very unfortunate, but we have not seen a single Awakened Hero at this point. But I am at the point where time emblems I'm buying out of the shop. Stargazer scrolls, I am farming out of the King's Tower right now. I went through and I've actually farmed this the whole entire time, but this is where I've been farming all of my cards out of. And again, even getting time emblems out of here, we have to get a little bit further, but time emblems will come in time. And that's really it right here. So once you hit 300, you start getting time emblems out of this game mode and you get Stargazer scrolls. Just going to take a long time before you get there, or not really a long time, just more time. Honestly, at this point, I remember when you told us that Irons, when he first released. Yeah, exactly. Irons used to be the monster, guys. Irons was the absolute monster. I'm going to go through, I'm going to play this account a little bit later tonight. Again, a lot of players wanted and absolutely have been asking me to continue building out and continue playing this account. Even on this account, guys, like I had said before, I really do what I preach. I am saving all of my resources right in here to build out, even though, again, this time, not a huge drive for building out Robinhood. 60 of 60, I am saving my resources. I will build out Robinhood in approximately 41 days. I will get Robinhood even on this brand new account that we have. Absolutely, guys, you have to get the heroes. Might not be today or tomorrow that Robinhood is used, but Robinhood is going to be used and he will be used. I promise you, there will be a place where Robinhood is going to be used. Essentially, there's going to be a time and a place where the hero is going to be used. It's going to take, again, it's going to take some time. Even here in the Temple of Time, I am saving for Shemira. I did a couple copies or summoned for a couple copies of Athalia. Unfortunately, didn't get any of them. So I'm going to wait to see when Shamira comes up. I'm going to throw everything up for Shamira. And this is what we're going in, all in for Shamira. I want to see if we can get her at least, especially with the free copy, up to at least Legendary Plus with the cards that they're giving us for free, is what I'm hoping, guys. Peaks of Time. Finally got to the point of getting these out, but I can't make progression in here because I just get absolutely crushed going in there for the class-specific artifacts. Sorry, guys. So that'll do it for our Sunday stream. Absolutely amazing, guys. We have a lot of new members to the channel. Thank you for all the love and support. Got some super chats in there. Richie the Boss joined us as a subscriber as well. I believe that was our third subscriber of the stream, guys. I'm going to be covering the wishlist account again a little bit later tonight. I also owe you guys the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor formations. They actually came up, I believe, a little bit earlier today up on up from the Chinese servers. So they have those out so we can continue making progression in those game modes and just get ready for Shamira, guys. We got the account all ready for Shamira. We have a ton of Poke Coins, ton of resources. We have time emblems in there, and I know I'm going to have to buy more time emblems absolutely within there. So again, guys, that'll do it for our stream. Thank you guys for joining me. And as always, thank you guys for watching.